Today is day 137 of the Arukh HaShulchan OC. If you would like to sponsor an upcoming shir of the Arukh HaShulchan OC or more, it'd be very greatly appreciated. Today we are doing from Orach Chaim Siman Tzadik Hesiv Gimel to Tzadik Zayin Beis. Gimel, Chas Rabbeinu Ramah, B'Shem Rokeach. The Shomim Yispal Yelech in front of Shalosh Psios. When you get up the Dam, you should go before yourself 3 steps there, Kiru Vagosha, and the way which expresses coming close and service or to tefillah. Agosha is not service. Like my guy is going to say in the next line. But now 3 times in Tanakh, Hagosha tefillah. Hagosha means to draw nigh, come close. Vayigash Avram, Vayigash Yudah, Vayigash Yo. Because of those who say that when you're standing on your spot, you have to go back 3 steps in order to go forward 3 steps. The minhag is not like that. Evidently, that he's trying to say that the minhag is to go back 3 steps before we go forward 3 steps. In other words, the minhag is not to not take 3 steps back, but to take 3 steps back and then take 3 steps forward. That's proper to do because everything which is holy needs preparation, designation. When we are young children in school, we are taught to stand by Micha Mocha, by Lim Hashem, but that is not correct. We're supposed to stand by Tilos Elyon. And b'mincha m'kshatz matzchil kaddish. When the mincha is supposed to stand when the shliach tzibur becomes kaddish, yechem marvis, and so to my marv as well. Mishnah Berurah says by mincha is supposed to stand when the shliach tzibur goes to start davening ashrei. I think the custom is to like the Arukh HaShulchan though, that to stand up specifically at when kaddish begins. Daled Amru Chazal b'Yavamis. Chazal say by mitzvah tzor she'tein edom lamata v'lovi b'lamala. The person down is supposed to put his eyes down and his heart up. How do we know to put the eyes down? Because it says, my eyes and my heart will be there in all the days. Paskim Malachim, Pirish Rashi, Klape Eretz Yisrael, towards Eretz Yisrael. Mishum Shechina Hasan Kaimo Ad Kalashana, because the Shechina is there. The pasuk says, Amro Shlomo. This pasuk stayed by Shlomo L'char Shabonos HaBeis HaMikdash after he built the Beis HaMikdash. V'shlo ne'amar, we shouldn't say that after, since the Shekhinah was here when the Beis HaMikdash existed, maybe after the Churban, the Shekhinah is now in Shamayim, no longer here on earth. They no king. It's not true. He's a Yerushalmi. Our pasuk said, Yerushalmi says that even after the basement is destroyed, the Shekhinah still remains in place. So look down to symbolize that the Shekhinah is still here down below. It's interesting because I always thought, erroneously, I guess, or at least not according to Arukh HaShulchan, that looking down was a sign of humility. But here it says that looking down is a sign of focus on the Shekhinah, which is still down here below. Libo lamala. So what does it mean? The heart is up. Lemikdash shamala, the opposite of the Beis HaMikdash on high. Because we know it's the Beis HaMikdash below, that corresponds to the Beis HaMikdash on high. As it says here, which they correspond to each other. This is in line with that we learned previous simile after direct your heart towards Eretz. So be Yerushalayim, or Beis HaMikdash, Machzir Panav L'Sham, and you direct your countenance to there. So that explains what the Torah Shulchan write, that you have to bend your head down a little bit, that his eyes should be looking down. As if you're standing Beis HaMikdash. With the heart, you should focus on high. His high is down below and his heart above. Meaning, You should sit. You should different reason. You should think in your heart that you're standing in heaven and you're looking down on earth. Right? So you're in heaven, looking down. The Yosim Libo Kol Tanugei Olam and roof and heart all pleasure of this world. And when you reach the store, Yachshu Ganke Gilu Amei Beis Hamikdash Lamata. The Yosim Beis Hamikdash is below. This is feel will be more acceptable to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So first think you're in Shamayim in order to take away the Torah of Tanugei Olam Hazeh, and then think you're Beis Hamikdash down here below. And it's Arukh HaShulchan's commentary is that it's a pretty high madrega to reach. Right? You have to close your eyes when you were down with Shemon Esrei. Says that if you do that, then you see the Shekhinah before you pass away. Mishabur writes, if you're downing out of a sitter and your eyes are open to look in the sitter, that's not a problem. Be'alacha writes, but if his eyes are below towards the ground and he's not mechave, and he looks even the end of the mouth of the cloud guards in Chaven Oz, Istakel Beis Dal Alf, Mashari. Not sure what he means to this. If his eyes are low towards the earth, and he's not mechavein, and he looked Istakel Dalad Aleph. I don't know what he's referring to. I'm not sure Dalad Aleph means here. Anyway, it's best, he says, it's best to close your eyes. He seems to be saying that if you looking in your sitter and then inadvertently you look around yourself, then it's not a problem. But I'm not sure that's what he means. And he holds as Arukh HaShulchan that the Chatchila is one supposed to close one eyes, but looking in the sitter is also okay. Which, of course, every person, as Arukh HaShulchan said previously about this, every person does what gives him the most kavanah, and every person is different in that respect. Hey, because the Rambam Perek Hey, minich yoda libo kefusim. You put your hands on your heart, clasped together. Arukh HaShulchan here. Sorry about that. It's after Yontif, but tired. Kshurim, it sounds like it's like this. Hayimai is smallest, but from the Rambam it says right on left. It sounds like this. Well, make ever lifnei rabo be'ema b'yira v'pachad. Standing for like a slave in front of his master with awe, with fear, and with trepidation. Don't put your hands on your hips. Because that is arrogant. As I do what we spoke about previously, that when there's anguish in the world, you should grasp your hands. Not when there's peace. The b'sham huinen acher. That is a different matter. Like you break your knuckles. But this is talking about just putting your hand one over the other, like we said before. So I guess kshurim, which it says kshurim in the brackets, doesn't necessarily mean knotted together. Standing for the king, in a manner of submission. Also alludes to taking the Yetzer Hara, which is on the left, and subjugating it to the Yetzer Tov, which is linked to the right. But each place is a different minhag, how the avodim stand before the masters, and that's the way you do it. I once was present at a talk, I don't remember whatever context, of a certain Rebbe who talked about left is misnagdim and right is chasidim, because left is din and right is chesed, and chesed is supposed to encompass the din, chasidim is supposed to encompass misnagdim. So in that effect, I wrote an article at that time about chasidim versus misnagdim because I was annoyed by that and wanted to write something about chasidim and misnagdim, which kind of went in the other direction, and you can find that article on the web if you like. It's called Forks in the Road. Says Gemara, says Arukh HaShulchan further. אמנם זהו הכל, ויש חוסק שמניח ימנס השמאל, יפרקם צוי משני זרועותיו נגד פני המספלל. When you put your right hand on your left hand, the middle joint of your two arms should be opposite the mispalo, I guess something like this. But yesh kosel kufa go to b'soch pisa sayat. Some people write to put the thumb inside. I don't know if you see that thumb inside the hand, right? So it's not apparent on the outside. Yesh lachshov libo. In any event, no, that's also from the Ramak. But as maybe actually show libo or musa yizbrach in your heart, you should think of the loftiness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shivus Adam and the degradation of humanity. What am I, poor and degraded? Coming to request for the King of Kings. Time davening, put your eyes below. And before Shemana so look up at the windows and the wall. When you're davening, sitting down, you should also sit bachna with submission of derech eretz and proper derech eretz. When you say kedusha, it's best to have your legs straight together. And to stand that way until after hakel hakodesh, which is interesting because a lot of people, including myself, are not machmir on that, and it seems you should be machmir on that, to stand with your feet straight together until after Kel Kodesh and Chazar Hashatz. And you shouldn't lift up your head and look up like you're looking at the ceiling. And those people do that. Malachim, maligim, alav. The malachim make fun of it. In other words, when you're davening, you should daven like this. That is considered to be something which human beings are making mockery of themselves. Okay, that's my brother. The name is Sefer Chasidim. Tzadik Vav. Sheimna meitzvah kol tirdos k'dei sheyachavin. You should try and curtail all the tirdos from all the distractions in order you should have kavanah. Aleph, Isa brachos le'yochos adam tefillin b'yadav sefer Torah b'zro yispalo. We should not hold tefillin in his hands or sefer Torah in his arm while he's davening. Mishabura says, let's also try Kriyash Psugi de Zimra. Because he's not going to be able to be calm during davening. Because he's always concerned they're going to fall from his hand. But Yisrael Shaman says that the Gam Sakina Mahos, also a knife, and money, coins, ukara, a plate, vikikar, and a loaf of bread, also the Chos to remain at home during davening. They should do it because it's going to be afraid for them. That the knife should not fall and hurt him. And the money get lost. And the plate spill. And the loaf get dirty. So it sounds like it's specifically saying where there's an aver if it falls. Come on, when they say a Torah tefillin. Someone's going to be damaged in filoso. From a sakin. Or a monetary damage like kimos, the karva kikar. So the nezek gufosar means a nezek to himself when it falls, like a knife which can fall and hit your foot, or hesek mammon, or the object itself is going to be damaged, like the money and the plate and the loaf. There's no issue if it falls. With brachos like string threads or kerchiefs, mutter will be okay. Those who say that also post shum davar. You're not to hold on to anything, but you are doing it in your hands with Shashmon Esrei. And this is, of course, the case. The Gemara is talking about things which is absolutely also to hold. Shatir them because they're going to cause you a lot of distraction. But it's preferable not to hold anything in your hand. One of those who say all those things mentioned that Shas, you're not allowed to hold them. If you did, you have to go back and daven over again. This is astonishing. I feel if he's man Shas, even at the time of Shas, when they were big, they went back for lack of kavanah. It's hard to say they went back. Should go back for this. Again, unless specifically, he said this is the reason I didn't have kavanah. The Oz, if he's manam chayzer, then at their time they would go back Then Chazon Shulchan Son Kavana, much cause the same on the title base. We in our day and age not go back because of a shortening Kavana, because this is going to be Chavin again, the second time round. The Mishnah Berurah writes, in any event, you only go back if you know you didn't have Kavana by Avos. And the Sharat Tzion says, actually, even in our day and age, if you think you're going to be able to have Kavana Avos, if you don't hold those things in your hands, you should go back, which is interesting. Difference of opinion with the Arukh HaShulchan. Beis, Amrina B'Sukkah, the Lulav B'Sukkah's Mutar L'Achzor B'Yada B'Shas HaTefillah. It says you're allowed to hold the Lulav. Av Yishim Yipo Yachol Yoshit Pasel. The Otor say, hi, if it falls, it might come puzzle, and you are become distracted. Become nevertheless. Kevan Shachiza B'Yada He Mitzvah B'Zmano. Since the holding it in his hand is the mitzvah of the time, Ein on the Nitra B'Shilo. He's not going to get too distracted in a negative way from that. We said the amount of the Siddur learn. Shemutar lachos biyad b'shash monesrei Siddur. You can hold your hand a Siddur or a Machzor. Lispal mitocho. The Kemach also tzarich tefillah. It's only for the person davening. Tefillah zu. Pshit lo gram lulav. It's no worse than a lulav. Shemuchasa mitzvah lo tzarich because holding it is a mitzvah, not distracting. Koshke mitzvah shaykh. I'm sorry. It's just like lulav. It's taken as a mitzvah, and therefore it's not considered a distraction. Koshkin, certainly. Mitzvah shaykh le'etzem tefillah. Some mitzvah which has to do with the tefillah itself. Lemisha ragil yisbar rakmin asidur. Somebody is accustomed only down from a sitter. Certainly is to hold it. But also kaddish shmonesrei. You should hold it. Take it in hand before shmonesrei. Avatok shmonesrei, but then shmonesrei lo yachzir acharav ba'amdo b'shmonesrei. You shouldn't again search for a sitter by standing in shmonesrei. Obviously, as the Mishnah Berurah points out, if you started on shmonesrei and became confused, and you're allowed to go to take a sitter and come back and continue davening. Back to Arukh HaShulchan. So he's saying in front of you on the stender when you begin Shemona Esrei, as mutter to up after Shemona Esrei, then you can pick it up in middle Shemona Esrei. For Rabbi Yam substitute mitzarkim, then you lispal min asider lispal ba'al peh. Totally lefitive b'nadam ayin sham. Every person is different in terms of davening out of a sitter or davening ba'al peh, and each person does what's going to bring them more kavanah. Tzadik Zayin Shlei Arukh, you should not spit, you should not sneeze, and yawn, b'tefillah. Aleph, since you have to send your davening like before king. You should not sneeze and yawn and begin in the middle of davening. The gihuk mikre, let's gihuk. Because this is when you make a loud exhalation from your mouth. You smell the smell of a food, shachal, which he ate, and we can smell it. In other words, it's a burp, not a cough. I'm sorry. That's a reach hamashka, so we can smell what he drank. He can smell it at least. Okay, that's burping. Beef harbe. So you open your mouth very hard. Umotzi ruakal, and you emit a little bit of breath. Also like a person who's getting up and sleeping. The current is that genensin. So burping and yawning. But this is who shows this earlier tzona. Obviously, it's when you do this deliberately. It's not when you it's beyond your of course it's beyond your circumstances. For akbigiyuk lo shayach ones. It's not so burping. It's not really shayach ones. That's what you do because you can restrain yourself with that. Avopiyuk, but the yawning, it's different. He's got to do it when he has to yawn. You should put your hand out of your mouth. That the opening should not be seen. This is if you are compelled to do it. But when it's, in other words, when you have to go like this, you go like this in order to conceal the yawn. But if you don't have to do that because you're not yawning and you're just doing it stam, some of the people shouldn't put your hand next to your mouth. Haina santero, not really over your mouth, but on your chin. Ulechia tachton, the lower jaw. Shas tefillah during davening. Zel dar gasus aruach. This is arrogant. Machmit says Chazani Mosim Kain. Those chazanim who do this, I assume they go like this, really, to improve their voice. Ein osim sem b'nei gaiva. They don't do it for arrogance or b'sumi kala, but rather to make their voice sound better. L'chein darkon gam lifrosi dam lemalo lemato litztorim. I guess they keep moving around their hands. They should derech nagina kenu because that's how you make good singing. L'chein gam poskim pim harbe. So, and that's also open their mouth very, very much. Parable seems to us we should. So they make different crazy types of movements. The Yef Shalem Bovanacher. They can't do it any other way. Arukh HaShulchan had a thing about Chazonim. Beis, B'dai Shon, the Zeshuk Kosav, the Giyuk Lake Ones, and burping, there's no such thing as Ones. Can't think Daki Miloshim of Bein Beis Yosef, Steve Aleph. This is my inference to the Beis Yosef, Shukosav, Lo Yigahek, Lo Yifahek. You should not, he said only Piyuk, yawning has to do with Ones, Einsham. Below his Kir Giyuk, Gankins, it doesn't mention burping. Masha the Begiyuk Lake on it sounds like burping. There is no onus. Moshe Rambam Perik Dav Losha Tur Lo Masha Kain. So it doesn't sound away from the Rambam. Tur Kain Mevur Losha Gemara Shal Shneim will omer the onus mutter. Above them it says that if you are compelled by circumstances permissible Einsham. Nachush Meikra Ben Beis Yosef. Says Arukh HaShulchan that our experience indicates Beis Yosef is correct. The Begiyuk Yechol Dam Leinos Etzmo. A person can suppress a burp. Kain really the Dina. Therefore, it seems to me the Lacha Devare Kain who is of course the case. The tzarech le'nosis that a person has to suppress that burp. We see when people sitting at a party and they have to, somebody has to burp. He compels himself not to burp because it's not considered to be the appropriate manners. Shas poskim can say if it's an onus, it's okay. It's true, the onus gadol. There are exceptions to every rule. If it's a great onus, obviously something which is stupendously difficult to refrain from, so then you have to burp. You should put your hand in your mouth also and bring a gaik and burp. Anybody says everybody says does not mention this, should not be rubbed. Most of you can suppress their burp. Says that's what people should do. The Mishnah Berurah is more lenient. He says that yawning, that burping is like yawning, and in an onus there is no issue.